Episode 15 with Nico Moreno of Ibarra Watches. You're listening to Kendrick Loves to Brand, the branding podcast featuring stories and lessons from entrepreneurs and brand builders so you can get inspiration, insights, strategies, and tactics as you create your own game-changing brand. Welcome to the show, Nico.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Ken.
I'm a fan of your brand. I came across your brand about over a year ago. Tapos I heard you give a talk during one of the events ng Go Negosyo in Entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Ever since then, I've been wanting to sit down and have a chat with you about your brand. So can you tell us, a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so basically I'm Nico Moreno, 29 years old. I am a physicist and a material scientist by training. I'm a history buff and a classic film enthusiast. So I guess doon na rin pumasok yung interest in creating a brand that jives along with those interests. So I founded Ibarra in 2015. I was but as early as 2013, I already thought of the brand name. It's just about what product will I use for the brand that I was creating.
Okay.
So the brand came first before the actual product, and then I just tied it together when I launched the watches, because I grew a love for watches, a passion for watches when I was in corporate. I was a corporate management trainee for a multinational FMCG before, and that gave me that exposure or that experience into prioritizing adding value to yourself. That introduced me to watches, and then the physicist in me, the material scientist in me made me interested more in watches, and then the historian in me made me want to research more and more about the art. Ayun.
So what were you doing before? Like you mentioned you're a physicist by training.
I finished with a degree in BS Physics with Material Science in De La Salle University. I have 2 international publications also in the field, But I went into corporate because my older brother was already in the academe taking up his PhD in Japan, and my younger brother is still a scholar in law school. So someone had to earn for the family. So that was me. So I had to make that career shift, enter corporate. And I guess you'll just be able to connect the dots along the way, because that taught me and that exposed me to the environment of a corporation, the different facets: finance, supply chain, technical production, marketing, sales, and that taught me a lot. So I went into that. I was in the manufacturing side. I did innovation and renovation of products. So even in that particular aspect of creating something, it helped me, that the training that I got there. So I guess it was fate na rin na yun ang pinagdaanan ko, because that really helped me a lot in creating Ibarra.
So from there, you mentioned when you were still working, you already had this brand name in mind.
Yeah.
So was that already something in your plan talaga to start something, to be an entrepreneur?
Yeah. Actually, as early as grade school, I was already an entrepreneur.
Nice.
Kung may friends ako na ikinig, baka bumili dati, Just to tell you some tricks of the trade. Noon, nung maliit ako, I would usually buy mga authentic basketball cards before.
Yeah.
And during our time, that was very much in. There were a lot of collectors, and I knew where to get very, very nice cards at bargain prices. And then I invested on a Beckett, the one that had the values of all the cards, the valuation. Yeah. So I bought cards at 50 pesos. I checked the valuations of the Beckett of the card. It says $20. I bought it for 50 pesos. I'll sell it for 300. So lumalabas, you're still getting more for what you pay for. But I got it for much less. So I started there. Tapos hanggang sa nagtuloy-tuloy na lang, I went into in college, I went into clothes, until ayun, I had that brand in mind, but sabi ko it had to be the right product.
So was it something that was instilled in you by your parents, or
siguro it was because of our reality before. Kasi during that time, we were living in the slums. We were living in the slums for 9 years. We were quite okay at the start, but due to failed businesses, we got evicted from our house, ganon. And then, we lived in the slums for 9 years sa may Luzon Avenue doon. Ngayon, congressional na ata siya ngayon. Pero doon pa kami sa looban. I would usually try to sell things so that I have extra baon or minsan may extra food kami sa family, ganon. Parang by chance lang din talaga. And I guess the proper education at home, the mindset that our parents gave us was really to try to see what you can do to get yourself out of the situation you're in. Kumbaga, hindi mo pwede iasa yan sa ibang tao or even sa government. What are you going to do about it?
So despite the failed businesses, your parents weren't jaded about like trying again. Kasi when you wanted to do your own business.
Sila all out support sila because
Nice.
when the time came that when we stopped schooling, me and my younger brother, my older brother was already in Philippine Science High School then, so he got a free education in high school. Me and my younger brother were in LaSalle Green Hills, but we had to stop for a year because our parents couldn't afford to send us to school because they really wanted us to finish in LaSalle, you know. So we stopped for a year, and when we got back, nagtuloy-tuloy na. We became achievers. We became basketball varsity players. We became student council officers. We excelled in academics because of the realities of our situation. We understood our realities and what we had to do in order to get ourselves out there.
Would you say it put a chip on your shoulder na you really have to like achieve and
Yeah, oo. Pero for me, you have to just keep on enjoying what you're doing and what the things that you're learning. I guess I have to thank my coaches and my mentors before, my teachers, no, growing up, because they were also part of molding us into who we are today. So the discipline, the challenges, binigay rin na yun. And of course, our parents na who never really gave up despite everything that had happened. So
did they ever start? Did your parents like do any more businesses after that?
usually they just focus on us, raising us up. So when we were in school, ano lang sila usually talaga, they would just be in the PTA sa association, mga parents, ganun. And kapag may bazaar sa school, papasok sila, they will try to sell some stuff, no? Ayun. And then I guess growing up, I see them try to do small selling, and that exposed me to business in a way. And then sabi ko, pwede pala kumita ng ganyan. So as early as grade 5, walang pambaon sa akin parents ko. Being in a school like, it entails some social costs as well.
Correct,
no?
yeah.
So I had to make sure I was okay. So I had to find ways in order for me to have the things that I don't have, and to still build friendships, ganyan, to make sure na hindi ako kawawa.
Yeah.
Kahit kawawa na yung situation namin at home. So our parents really gave us the confidence, of the things that we can actually do.
So there was never anything from them na parang, kasi it's actually very refreshing to hear that, diba? So typically if a parent goes to like a failed business, parang the tendency is maging jaded na even the kids are sort of discouraged from trying, diba? So in your case, parang that's totally the opposite from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, totally the opposite. I guess doon na rin papasok yung teamwork. Like, I guess if you're in a team, I guess that's what also sports taught me. When you're a team, you should know your role. Hindi pwede ikaw lang yung aangat, sama-sama kasi kayo aangat, no? So even in the family, there were times that it was my brother who's the one earning. May summer job siya, high school siya noon. And yun yung minsan pinangbabao namin everyday. May times na ako, may allowances ako from sports, yun yung ginagamit namin everyday. So, kumbaga tulong-tulong lang. Kumbaga chip in lang palagi. So, I guess that's the value that was taught to us growing up. Kaya nga ako, when I started Ibarra, sabi ko, I started from negative. So, anything I earn here is already a positive moving forward. Because, I came from there, I survived, we survived. Kumbaga, worst comes to worst, wag naman sana mangyari, no? If it happens again, I'm sure that we're still gonna survive.
Nice.
So I guess that made me have that appetite for risk as well, kasi knowing na na negative yung pinagmulan ko.
Yeah.
And
It's like almost parang nothing to lose. Kasi
nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Whereas if it were others, no, mas maraming mawawala sa kanila kapag mag-fail sila.
Correct.
So
take us to the start of Ibarra. So you had the name, and then when you finally settled on the idea of watches? Why watches?
I don't know, kasi I was watching a lot of classic film, no, before, and then I was supposed to get into jazz music, but I never had the time because I was in corporate. I wanted to do brass instruments. At dahil wala nga oras, sabi ko, what can I do with my money? I wasn't used to saving it or investing it. No? Kasi growing up in the slums, we live by the day. I wanted to have something that to reward myself for all the hard work. Right? So I went into watches. I bought a watch until I kept on buying until I realized na ang laki na nang nagastos ko sa watches, no? And to think na yung pinanggalingan ko ito, gumagastos ng ganito, medyo hindi tama yon. But I really love watches. So, natandaan ko when I was in Laguna that time, I was assigned in Laguna, you know, the idea came to mind na why not, no? I mean, why not try to turn your passion into a business? As long as you see an opportunity there. Which I saw naman because I was doing research. There wasn't really a Filipino brand that assembled here,
Yeah.
no? And then I also saw that we had some quite of a history in terms of watches, timepieces in the Philippines, as early as 1873 in Iloilo, no? So, through our jewelry stores, no? So sabi ko, bakit natigil yon? And bakit ngayon wala pa rin? And why not start? So for me, I saw that opening to enter.
So at that time, did you have any knowledge about watchmaking?
Watchmaking, well, as an enthusiast, ganito, the mind of an enthusiast and a collector is different from a watchmaker. Because a watchmaker is also a very technical person who knows some tricks of the trade as well, and who knows some people in the industry. Ako, as I was working in a multinational company, I got to network as well from other countries, and they got to link me to several people, no? Like, kunyari ko sa Switzerland, may kausap kami. Oh, do you know someone in the watch industry? Ganito, ganyan. So, minsan, ililink ako. So, I know some people in the watch industry, president ng this company, ganito, ganyan. And then, dun na lang ako na-hook na. Because I was really engrossed into watches. I love the art that came along with it, the mechanical art that came into a watch, keeping accuracy, despite the natural forces of nature affecting it, gravity, electromagnetic interferences, no, and I don't know, vibrations, you know, what are the purpose of jewels there, what kind of lubrication should you use, no, those things entered my mind. So when I see a watch, I actually see these theories, no, yung mga pangarap kong magawa in the future, no. Of course, ang sabi ko, I have to start somewhere, very basic ones, no. So we started with quartz, and then we moved to automatic watches. Ayun. But of course, the industry is hard, so it takes time. It takes time to really get there to where we want to go.
So from the start, like, how did you actually went about finding somebody who can make your first product?
Okay. Kasi, when you know people in the industry, kilala mo who makes this for this brand, who makes that for that brand. Lumalabas, oh, can you just link me to your, ganyan? Or do you know this person? Yeah. Oh, I have a cousin, he works in this company or this factory, he does this. So that actually helped me in getting suppliers, no? To make for us, no? Yung mga relojeros naman namin, usually as a watch collector, went into vintage watches, mga more contemporary ones, yung mga Oris, mga Hamiltons, mga ganon. Yung mga relojeros ko ngayon, sila yung mga either nagre-restore, nagsiservice, ng mga watches ko.
Okay.
Until I saw that it shouldn't be that hard as long as you have the right people that you trust and who know what to do. And sabi ko, we're still doing the basic stuff. I mean, we're not yet at the very complicated stuff like assembling chronographs or chronometer grade timepieces na kailangan mo pa ipa-certify sa Switzerland. No? But, the skill that it takes to get there, made-develop naman yan. But sabi ko, you have to start somewhere. Yun nga, I mean, there's a saying that, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Yeah. So, that's the first step, creating a brand, trying to see how you can market that brand, what products are you gonna sell, and then how do you make it happen, who are the people involved.
So how has been how has the reception been to the watches?
When we started kasi, it was like a learning launch. I read this book called The Physics of Business Growth. It sounds very technical pero it's not, no? It's just talking about the use of scientific method in developing a business. Kasi, you have a problem, you develop a hypothesis, how can you solve the problem, and you have your inferences, no? And then you develop your experimental setup. So it's just like creating an experiment. So what elements do I need? What instruments do I need to form this experiment? So yun nga, just like in a business, ano yung kailangan mo? And then after that, you develop your conclusions and your recommendations, how you can improve. So just like in any other business, medyo gano'n din yung cycle. So it's just that I learned how to make analogies and put business into a language that I understood properly. So which was the scientific method, no? So that's how I started. So sabi ko, learning launch, ito tayo. I chose the brand Ibarra because of the image of the name. No, when we first hear of Ibarra, we think of a gentleman, sophisticated, stylish, pero may substance at heart.
Yeah.
Kasi matalino siya, may kabuluhan yung mga insights niya, ideas niya because of the novel that Rizal wrote, no? Same time, may puso siya, especially for the Filipino, for the society. So as a brand, that was the perfect image that I wanted to create. So I used that brand and merged it into watches. And ayun, kumbaga it has to have good designs, universally appealing, timeless designs, papatok kay lolo, kay daddy, sa anak ko.
Yeah.
Diba? So lahat pwede isuot. So immediately, that's an heirloom piece kagad compared to trendy designs. No? And then, the functionality, we have to make sure na quality lang kasi our manufacturers are at par with other brands in the market, and the Filipino touch is there. And sabi ko, that's a perfect brand. Kumbaga, perfect image of a brand. So I started there. The reception was, at first it was good, but then kasi I saw this particular watch brand in the market before. It's a cheap fashion watch brand, but I saw that the specs were very, very bad. No, it was like trash. No, and I told myself I want to create a watch that had better quality, better parts. No, so I launched a learning launch. I created that learning launch back in 2015, around May to November. The reception was pretty good naman. So the brand had a ring to it. So people, oh, Filipino yan, ganito, ganyan. So okay. So that started it. And until when we launched in November, we launched a series of those watches that were in our learning launch, only to find out that the brand that we were trying to benchmark on that had very poor quality launched in the Philippines a month before. So we benchmark. Kasi ako, I don't really value much on the aesthetic, but I value what comes in the watch.
Okay,
no? So nahirapan kami doon. So that forced us to really get into the automatics already. So which din talaga yung gusto ko. So we started there.
So you made this watch specifically to compete with that brand?
Not really to compete, but to test the brand. No, of course, you leverage on quality, the specifications. We were using a Ronda movement there, so a Swiss quartz movement. So battery life is about 4 years for standard Ronda movement. We use sapphire glass. We use 5 ATM instead of the usual 3 ATMs for cheap watches. No, so and we sold it at a competitive price naman. But ayun nga, doon ko na I'm not really good at marketing. So doon ako natuto slowly.
Who does the designs of your watches?
Usually ako. It's just me. Especially when we launched the automatic watch, the Plaridel. I used some inspirations coming from existing watches, mga luma, no? Since I'm more of a classic person. I benchmark on those. Minsan I get inspirations from Eterna, the old Eterna watches, Patek Philippe, mga luma rin, mga Seiko L'Oreals, gano'n.
Super classic looks.
L'Oreals, mga gano'n, mga classic watches. And then, kasi my aim was to create timeless pieces that were universally appealing, that can appeal to anyone, any age, any race, no? And something that they can still call Filipino because it's Ibarra.
Yeah.
Ganon. And you just focus on the quality. So yun yung ano ko, yun yung focus ko talaga that time. But of course, marketing, people in marketing can work, magic, no? I mean, it's hard to compete with people who have magic, no? So, dun lang. At saka, that's when I realized marketing was also very expensive, Kaya I tried to do a lot of PR, talk my way into mutually beneficial projects or collaborations with brands, media partners, ganon. So yun na lang because we don't have the money for marketing. I would rather put the money into making the watches.
Making the product better. So speaking of partnerships or collaborations, you have a limited edition watch coming out.
Yeah.
For the SEA Games.
Yeah. So basically for the SEA Games kasi they got us as a sponsor. No? We were supposed to be in it already as early as last year, but due to some issues with the management before, sa SEA Games, nagkagulo, who handles this, who handles that, medyo nawala sa usapan. Until last month, 2 months ago, October 28, we actually agreed already. We will support. So they're not paying us. We wanted to do our part and to be part of this historic event for the country. No, so we're giving watches to all the gold medalists, Filipinos and non-Filipinos. So kahit mga tiga other countries, contingents na kasama, basta may gold medal, bibigyan namin sila.
Nice.
Kunyari, 4 ang gold medal ng isang tao, 4 din ang relo nila.
Wow.
Because we are actually going to put their names on the back, going to put their country, their sport, and then the event where they won a gold medal. To make it more memorable for them. So para at least, even for non-Filipinos, we make the experience more memorable for them. So, yung mga watches yun to follow because we have to wait for the entire list.
Yeah, of course.
And then we'll just send it to the respective countries na lang. We say the Olympic committees of all the...
People can also pre-order the...
Yeah, right now, we launched 2 other variants because the variant for the gold medalists are gold. Kasi, so the variants that we're offering to the market is actually 2-tone gold and then the stainless steel, no? So parang, ayun, they granted us a license to produce 500 pieces only. And ito, although it's just quartz, it's still something at least to remember this milestone for the Philippines. And itong 500 pieces na to, we're actually targeting the entire Southeast Asian market. So we've had pre-orders already for that. No, they're coming. They're gonna be available at around December 20, 22, 23. Sakto sa Pasko.
Yeah.
So yun yung time frame namin doon. So medyo sakto. So hindi man umabot na SEA Games, at least the SEA Games fever is still there afterwards.
So people can still pre-order this, right?
Yeah, we're just on our 4th day of pre-selling it, and they're very much available pa naman right now.
Nice.
Nice.
So what do you think has been? I mean, the brand is still young, but you've been able to accomplish a lot with the brand. What do you think has been the secret to success at this point in time for the brand?
For me, just being a proud Filipino Kasi usually, there are a lot of people there na they're afraid to go get into, say, Filipino, ganyan, because of how the market sees it. Pero, if you want to be a game changer, as Virgil once said, fortune favors the bold. You have to make bold moves.
Yeah.
If you want to make something that will last, don't expect it to come easy. You have to work hard for it. Kaya nga, when I decided to get into the watch business, creating an own brand, sabi ko, it's hard enough for people not to do it. So lumalabas. That's why if there are brands in the market right now, I admire them for mastering that courage to try to get into it, but they know how hard it is for sure, no? And you have to be able to muster the courage and the strength to go through all the sacrifices that you need to go through. Like from corporate, from earning a lot in corporate, you have to take loans. You have to, now you understand the value of loans, how you make them work, how you make it profitable for your company. Yung mga ganong bagay, it's a different na imbis na ikaw yung kumikita, ikaw yung namimigay ng kita.
Yeah.
Kasi may empleyado ka.
Correct.
from enjoying your 13th month pay to giving 13th month pays to people. Of course, mas, di ba, medyo masakit minsan sa'yo pero masaya ka because you're helping also others having to have a good holiday. So, ang daming changes na may experience din. But you just need to make sure that your passion is strong enough to overcome all these challenges and sacrifices.
Actually, that's one of the reasons why when I came across your brand and when I saw you talk during that event, I feel, I mean, we don't know each other yet, diba? Pero like that much. Pero like, I feel like you're kindred spirit in a sense na you're going into an industry and creating a Filipino brand, diba? Made here, which is something also we believe in our company, diba? Like with Antidote, when we create our Filipino brands, I mean that's basically the whole mission of the company when I started it, is to create Filipino brands that we can bring to other countries.
Yeah.
Diba? I mean, kind of off air we were talking about this idea na like we had watchmaking here before, but maybe during the American period, medyo slowly nag-die down ng industry because people, I think the market here, we got used to just importing the nice brands instead of creating our own brands and exporting it.
Exactly.
So, doon din yung pinanggagaling ko. That's why I really love branding kasi feeling ko that's probably one of the major ingredients that's missing.
Tool,
diba? Kasi I guess because we're importing, we know how to appreciate brands, but we sort of lost touch with how we can create our own brands.
Yeah.
So feeling ko yun yung malaking missing ingredient here. That's why I got into branding, and then the products or the brands that we're creating are in industries na, if you think about it, it's almost the odds are really against us to create
Sobra.
like yung sports brand namin for A game. Like we love sports, diba? I mean, with the SEA Games here, kita natin yung passion natin for sports, but we don't really have a lot of sports brands na Filipino made that have made it to other countries, diba?
That's true.
And I think that applies to pretty much different industries, diba?
Everything, yeah.
And the thing is, we're very passionate people. So parang feeling ko lang we're not channeling that passion lang enough to creating our own brand. So seeing you apply to watchmaking, it's very exciting for me kasi like yun din yung gusto naming i-promote really to people. If you have a passion about anything, create a brand around it para the world can see what the Philippines can do. Diba?
Yeah, that's true. Kasi not a lot of people know, but Hermes and Louis Vuitton actually sources their skins in the Philippines, in Davao and Palawan. So parang you buy a Louis Vuitton bag or an Hermes bag, but you don't know that the skin is actually coming from the Philippines.
Correct.
So we just need the branding people to get in there, and for people to love Filipino and try to find a way to convert them into bags, no?
Hindi you're talking about the crocodile skin na owned by Wilcon, diba? Tama ba?
Yeah. Sa Palawan sila. Ako naman, I'm friends with the one in Davao. So actually, I would have like, my wallet is made from their leather. Unbranded siya kasi sila lang gumawa. Pero imagine if you can have a brand powerful enough that to go global and to battle these luxury brands as well.
So they don't have their own brand?
Wala, they're just supplying.
Actually, yun nga yung parang that's very common. That's a common theme. No? We have all the like
the skills.
The skills and the resources are here, but we're selling basically the raw materials. And then they put on the value because of the brand, the manufacturing, and then they sell it back to us.
Exactly, as finished products. Like kahit sa denim din Wrangler. We make Wrangler. We make denim here, but there has never been a denim brand talaga in the Philippines. Maybe not until a few years ago. Leon Denim came. No, Leon Denim. They wanted to really put the Philippine denim on the map, no? But it's not a mass brand yet because, in order for a Filipino brand to become a mass brand, you need to get the support of the market, no? So, to generate enough demand, you have to have a good brand, good marketing strategies for the people to support you. So I guess these are all part of the equation talaga.
I'm sure you've come across it also. I mean, selling your watches, no. This idea that parang there's a perception locally na if it's Filipino made, it's inferior quality.
Yeah.
Diba?
We went to a bazaar before in a bank. No, not gonna name which one. Nag-bazaar kami doon. Just because the HR person was our friend, no, they invited us. We heard one person, wag na yan, local lang yan. Wow. That kind of hurt a lot. Oo, parang
How,
sorry.
how did you stop yourself from saying something?
Wala. Parang ako, I guess you have to, you wanna succeed also, you have to know what you're capable of doing and what the market situation is. And, try to really know what you know what you don't know what you need to know the things that you don't know, and understand them. So ako, I took it as feedback na lang na, okay, it's that market. No? So parang, there's a problem. It's a cultural problem.
Yeah, it is.
That's why, I guess, because, that we were under the Americans, and the problem, the Americans are good PR people, no? That's why they're always, seen in a very good light by a lot of people, no?
Yeah.
Hollywood and all. Kaya rin sa atin, gusto natin imported. Because they instill that mindset on us, no? That imported is good, American is good.
Correct.
So, and that's branding and PR.
Yeah, it is.
So even if you're, you may be quite inferior in terms of your services or your, or your intentions, as long as you market it properly or brand it properly as they did, it sold it.
Yeah,
So,
it becomes a cycle also,
it's a
like you said,
cycle.
diba, na because of that, people tend to support and buy their products more. Then now they have the budget for R&D.
R&D,
So-
more jobs, more equipment. So that's also our problem, of course. That's why we try to partner with universities or institutions so that we can work together and maybe cut down on costs in order to produce something new or maybe have new innovations, na we can really call our own. Because we don't have the money for R&D, because people are not supporting enough. Minsan sasabihin nila, like for Ibarra, Seiko automatic nasa 6,000 na, gano'n. Ito nasa 15,000, mahal naman yan. But they don't know that the Seiko only has a 7S movement, 7S26 na, which is much more inferior than an 8215. Na dapat si 8215 ng Citizen, yung gamit namin, dapat ibinabangga mo siya sa 4R or sa 6R ng Seiko. You check out the watches that carry those movements in Seiko, how much are they? So lumalabas, there's a disconnect also. So even the market is not that educated as well.
Yeah.
So, and they just naaano na lang sila nasisilaw na lang sila sa brand.
Sa brand, yeah.
Kaya ganun kalakas ang brand.
Yeah.
Kasi if you'll ask me, in terms of movements, mass-produced movements, I'll never go with Seiko. I'm sorry, Seiko. Sorry, Seiko followers also, but I will never go with Seiko. I would really go with Citizen or Miyota. Kasi even when you talk about the 9000 series and you compare them to the ETAs or the Swiss or the Celitas, they also have good branding. European, Swiss, has a good flavor to it, But ito, you have a 9000 series na 9015, you compare it to 2824-2 na ETA. The 9015 of the Miyota performs much better than the ETA 2824. But people still want the ETA.
Yeah.
So there's a disconnect. There's that gap in terms of the education as well. Yeah. So, and that's how powerful the brand is.
Yeah.
So for us to get there, it's gonna be a challenge. Ngayon, kalaban namin 6,000 na Seiko 5,000 na Bambino. People don't know what's inside
Yeah.
Alam lang nila automatic quartz, ganun. So okay.
I mean,
Alright.
in some perverse, parang it's almost like for a Filipino brand to really gain acceptance here, you sort of have to make it big outside first, diba? Parang baliktad, Like, in most countries, they really support their own brands, which encourages more entrepreneurs to create, to develop, to really improve, diba?
Yeah, totoo. Actually, branding is very important kasi even the Filipino brand, may kulang sa Filipino brand when you put it out overseas,
Agreed.
Pero tutusin mo, we have very talented people. We have very good chefs, very good cooks. We have very good
engineers, designers, lahat.
Dancers, singers, Lumalabas, they just need the push, the branding. Problema, for example, us Filipinos, we keep on wanting to please ourselves.
Yeah.
We want to capture our own market. Like, say, there's a singer abroad, Filipino, sa Filipino community lang siya,
Yeah.
But what we need is to grow a Filipino brand is to put that Filipino in front of an international audience.
Yes, exactly.
And to show them what we can do.
Exactly, yeah.
And that can make us an international brand.
Yeah.
I guess for us then, ayun nga, I mean with our limited we're still pretty much focused here locally, but we're trying to create that network wherein we can actually introduce Ibarra to a global audience in different markets, no? And I guess yun nga, with the help of different partners, private and public, no, the government, we can actually do it. Yun lang nga, you need to let them know what you need and how they can help.
Yeah.
Yun lang din naman because sometimes they have a job to help Filipino brands or businesses. You just need to go to them.
Yeah.
Let them know what help you need.
And I think what's really resonating here for me is it's not so much this idea of buying local. It's not just buying local for the sake of buying local. Diba? I think it goes hand in hand with finding entrepreneurs whose brands are really developing world-class products.
Yeah.
Na hindi lang... Kasi I've also come across brands they say, oh, just support local. Pero if you look at the product, it's really hard to support it because it's really an inferior product.
Yeah.
Diba? And the way you're talking about watches, it really comes across as you really know what you're doing, and you know what the strengths of your products are and what the weaknesses are right now, what the limitations are right now. But you're not basically selling the market on a product just because it's made in the Philippines.
Yeah, I never.
But it's something that if you put it side by side against other watches, on a technical level, it's at par.
Yeah. That's what I make sure of. Para yun nga, kasi the specs are kasi when you buy a watch for because of its technical art So that's why you have to differentiate yourself. Are you just a fashion watch na patapon lang after like 1,000, 2,000 peso watches na after a year masira siya, okay lang, I just buy another one. Or are you that watch brand that aims for longevity?
Yeah.
So yun nga, so you need to see where you want to put your brand in. Say I want to be an authentic watch brand, a real watch brand. So what does a real watch brand do? What do they prioritize? So ako, yun yung pina-prioritize ko.
Nice.
Oo, as a brand.
Who do you look up to in this field? Like, is there a particular brand?
Well, I wouldn't say Rolex, no. There are a lot of Rolex followers, no. Pero ang ano ko lang din minsan sa mga Rolex followers, sometimes Rolex is very good in branding and marketing. That's all I can say, no. Pero sometimes they don't know why a Rolex is expensive. Why is Rolex a Rolex? No? Sometimes they just buy to flaunt, ganito, ganyan.
Yeah.
But they don't know that every Rolex watch is chronometer grade. And only 4% of actual Swiss watches are chronometer grade. And every Rolex watch is like that. So I never hear that reason from any person. You just buy a Rolex because it's a Rolex. And a crown for every achievement.
Yeah.
Very good marketing. But and then the perpetual oyster ganyan. Actually I love their marketing. Ang galing nila. Ninakawan pa nila si John Harwood for the title of the first automatic movement manufacturer, in 1931. But they apologized for it in the 50s when John Harwood was already dead, So, pero I mean that's how cruel marketing can be, And it's business. You have to be ruthless sometimes, But I love how they brand themselves, That's why Rolex is a prestige watch. They don't innovate much. They just stick to practicality. Why would you think wala silang yung mga tipong yung mga may leap year pa na complications? Why don't they enter the auto lingerie categories? Because it's not practical. They stick to practicality. Diba? I mean, posible naman na susuotin mo yan every day, Malamang there will be a time na 1 week mo di mo susuotin yan. So, mawawala yung accuracy din. Or titigil din siya, isi-set mo lang din again. So, yung mga ganong bagay. So, as marketing-wise, I love them. Pero as a watch, in terms of the demand, they're increasing, they're getting more profits. I think they earn around 2 billion a year in the Philippines alone. 2 to 3 billion a year. Pero their quality is going down because of the mass production. In terms of watches, I look at FP Journe a lot, I love their watch, the one with the natural frequency, the resonance, the watch that has two movements, and they take the art of watchmaking further, or the theories in timekeeping further, and how one movement can affect the accuracy of the timepiece, or how can they synchronize and move in harmony, through their natural frequencies, It's a beauty scientifically, but I'm not sure if everyone understands that, But they only see the price point and the brand, and it's good, But it's always different when you can always tell a story, the story with the timepiece,
Yeah.
That's why for Ibarra also naisip ko is you want to tell a story with every watch, It's you have a nice watch. What's that? It's an Ibarra. What's an Ibarra? It's a watch brand from the Philippines. They actually ganyan. Ibarra is actually a character created by our hero, ganyan. So as a Filipino, even when you're abroad, you talk about the Philippines, no? So I like FB Jorn and I like Seiko for their marketing and for the impact they made in the lives of the Japanese and their country. Seiko is the watch for every Japanese person. Seiko kasi watch lang for a person who doesn't know more about watches in the Philippines. Seiko is just like the watch may ganito or this person, ganyan. So sometimes they look down on it. But in fact, it's actually good because it can be a watch of everyone. So minsan yung pagong mo na relo yan ng tao mula sa iba't ibang social classes sa komunidad or sa kumbaga in your environment. So that's the beauty in it. And I want Ibarra to be like that to Filipinos. Like I want also people to grow with Ibarra. So you have a son, sige, ito muna sa'yo, quartz ka muna. You have to look good all the time. You have to be mindful of the time. You need to learn how to respect your time and other people's time, because that's immediately going to be an impression on you, on your character. It will show your character. So you have to be a good boy, be prim and proper, have a good watch like Ibarra. And then when you graduate, say college, high school, here's an automatic watch. Keep it. It's an Ibarra again. Ganito, ganyan. So I want Ibarra to be like that.
Yeah.
So hindi lang any social class, but any age as well.
Yeah.
So you're too young to have, say, a modern recreation of Dr. Rizal's wristwatch because we're selling it at 85,000. Dito ka muna sa quartz watch na nasa 5,000, 7,000 lang.
Yeah.
Oo. Parang ganun.
As an entrepreneur, do you ever experience self-doubt?
Doubt?
Self-doubt. Yeah.
Self-doubt? All the time. Kasi lumalabas as an entrepreneur, sometimes one of the most difficult things is to actually delegate tasks. You want to do everything, but sometimes you feel that you're not equipped enough to do all these tasks. I want to learn everything. I want to understand everything before I delegate them. Ganun. So I know if they're doing the right thing or not. Ganun. So self-doubt is always there. Pero iniisip ko na, I've gone this far already. I've gotten this much support. Kumbaga, it's not the time to stop.
To stop. Yeah.
Kumbaga, overnight success is unrealistic. You have to build that overnight success 5 years, 10 years. It takes time to create a brand. So who knows, may take 10 years for Ibarra to start, to reach a tipping point na talagang roll na lang lahat. But it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
That's why yun din yung you have to have the patience and the perseverance and the endurance. And I guess as a former athlete as well, I learned those things also. So it's just on how you rechannel all those skills and perceptions, to different things, no. So yun lang naman.
Do you have a mentor?
Mentor? But I just keep on talking to people. Kasi I guess that's the good thing about being an entrepreneur. You keep on talking to people. You can treat everyone as your mentor. You always learn something new every day. Sometimes it's my parents, sometimes it's my brother or my other brother, or sometimes it's a former professor or a former administrative officer in a university, or someone from my past company. I usually those are my mentors. I treat them all as my mentors. Yun nga, it's about being humble enough to know the things that you don't know talaga, and asking people, because it doesn't hurt to ask, Kumbaga, libre magtanong. kumbaga. Pero yun lang nga, huwag kang ma-pride. Kailangan lang bukas ka lang o possibilities. They might criticize your brand or give you it's on how you take these advices or these criticisms. You take it constructively or you hurt. Diba? You take them constructively kung you feel that they're negative. At the end of the day, you have control over the things that all the things that relates to yourself, how you react to certain situations, stoicism, ganun, no?
Yeah.
So, how you react to certain situations. Okay, problemado na nga tayo, paproblemahin ko pa, negative ko pa sarili ko. Let's try to be relaxed because I won't be able to think if I'm not relaxed.
Yeah.
Kung iinom ako, dahil problemado ako, mawawala ba yan bukas? It's just gonna make me feel lighter. But if I'm mentally tough to fix my mindset, then it's good already. Ako, I value mindset management more than time management. Because no matter how much time you have, if you don't have the right mindset, you won't be able to use that time that you have. Like even in school, wala kang motivation mag-aral, kahit gaano katagal ka mag-aral, hindi papasok yan sa utak mo. Babaksak at babaksak ka. You need to know why you're studying, you need to know your goals, you need to know why you're doing this, and you need to know why you want to do this. So it's really in the mindset. Oo. So mental toughness is very important talaga.
Is there an entrepreneur that you look up to that, like, maybe if like given the chance that you'd want to meet? And
Of course there's if he was still alive, Steve Jobs, very good marketer, gives the best presentations even though he's missing deadlines, to introduce to the shareholders or the stakeholders. Kasi swing pa rin niya, Jack Ma, I saw his talk when he went to DLSU. I was there. Brilliant guy. Humble beginnings. Talagang pure hard work.
Yeah.
Sa Apple naman, they have a different mindset when it comes to work-life balance. There's your work, and there's your life's work. And your life's work should be aligned with the company. So they look for those types of people. So parang you need to look for people who are hungry, who want to add value, want to create value, not for themselves but also to what you're doing, your employees, kunyari. So I look up to them, si Jack Ma at saka si Steve Jobs talaga.
how do you stay productive? Like, what do you have, like a typical day or like a routine that you go through?
Well, I wish I had, no? Right now I just make sure that I have enough sleep. Yeah, because at the end of the day, before you decide to start going to the gym, you have to get the right sleep first, right amount of sleep. Because sometimes even when you do gym and you don't have enough sleep, sometimes you're still gonna end up very unhealthy and be prone to, say, heart diseases or ganun. So you have to have enough sleep talaga. So ako, I value sleep. Sometimes I wake up at 7, sometimes I wake up at 11. But usually I sleep at 1 or 2. So depende lang, no? Ayun. So make sure that you have 6 to 8 hours of sleep a day. Yun lang. I guess that's how I always keep a clear mind or a relaxed mind every day. Kung may problema, okay, problema na nga. How do you approach things talaga? How do I stay productive? I try to list down everything that I need to do. Checklist lang. Kung hindi ko nagawa, kung hindi ko na-check the previous day, carry over lang the next day. Then you add new stuff there, and then just keep on checking, then carry over. Ganun lang. So nakikita mo lang kung ano yung mga kailangan mong i-cover. Oh.
So we're heading towards the end of the show now. So like there are 3 questions that I always ask all my guests. The first one is, knowing what you know now, diba, at this point in time, if you had a chance to go back in time to 4 years ago when you were about to start Ibarra pa lang.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Diba? And you can talk to Nico from that time. What advice would you give to him, or would you even give any advice?
Don't be too nice. Don't be too gullible. Because sometimes people just make noise. Because there were times wherein I was too nice. Even to interested investors na I got too in it na hindi na ako pala tutuloy, ganon. I make plans, mali-disgrasya. So I had those hurdles along the way. So don't be too nice, don't be too gullible. know how to differentiate noise from actual stuff. No? So, ayun. Yun yung sasabihin ko sa sarili ko.
Nice. I think we've all been through that. Second question. What else are you looking to accomplish over the next 10 years?
Over the next 10 years, I wanna study and teach again. You know, I'm planning to take up my master's soon, maybe next year in physics. I was teaching already before, no. Ako kasi, for me, teaching gives you, a different kind of fulfillment. When you get to pass on that knowledge to a group of people, hoping that one day you get to inspire a person to do great things. Even if you're a good teacher, a good mentor, your mentee or your student will surpass you.
Yeah.
So for me, I want to see that happen. For the business, I hope that in the next 10 years I get to hire, I get to have that CEO in the company because I want to focus on the product and the development, on the innovation side. Because for a company to last long, you have to be innovative. If you don't have innovation, your company is bound to die. So you never do price wars because when you're down, there's nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
When you keep on going down.
Yeah.
So you have to keep on innovating so that you can progress as a business as well. Usually yun lang naman. So I want Ibarra to have maybe a patent or two to start some manufacturing here already in the next 10 years, for me to maybe finish masters or maybe take up my PhD and to teach at the same time while doing Ibarra. So yeah, yun yung mga gusto ko ma-achieve. I'm not really a big fan of I know it's quite risky when you put all your eggs in one basket. Pero for me kasi yun nga, coming from the start of the show na mentioned that I really came from nothing, and being where I am. I don't really ask for much in life. For me, it's just being able to leave your mark in the lives of others and being able to inspire people to do what they can. Because if I was able, me and my family was able to take ourselves out of poverty before, a lot of people can do that. They just have to have the proper mindset. Ayan.
Nice. Before I ask my final question, I just want to acknowledge you for being an inspiration. I've really learned a lot in this past hour, and I'm really looking forward to what else you're going to keep achieving, and for Ibarra as well. Where can people follow you?
Okay, so people can follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. It's /Ibarra Watches. You can also find us online on the World Wide Web, www.ibarrawatches.com. Yeah, pretty much that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, for my final question, speaking of leaving a mark, how do you want to be remembered?
As someone who maybe tried to make a difference, or tried to redefine, the Filipino brand, because for me, for products, it's usually just fast food and designers that become world famous. But creating a brand is different. We're good as individuals, but as groups, as companies, we have yet to see a Filipino company or a brand that really went global. So I want Ibarra to be that. I want to be remembered for that. Jollibee was able to crack the code, going global. Why can't we crack the code for a brand and a product? The designers can always do it on their own and carry their name, but they're individuals. But when you talk about a group, a company, I want to be able to make that mark, to leave that mark.
Certainly looking forward to that. Thank you so much, Nico.
Salamat.
Thank you guys for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please rate and review the show on iTunes. It will help more people discover the show. You can also share a screen cap of the show on your social media accounts. Make sure to tag me and let me know which part of the episode you like or didn't like. All feedback is certainly welcome, so feel free to reach out to me on Instagram @KendrickPo to let me know what topics you'd like to be covered next and who you want to hear or learn from in future episodes. Until next time, do the work you want to see done, because life's too short to not be creating your life's work.